What's up, guys? MurderofBirds here, and RWBY Volume 2 has officially come to a close with the episode 12 finale, and it was a really good episode overall. You know, we got the hype, we got the action, we got the cliffhangers at the end, and all that stuff was great. But before I get into my review, I need to give you guys a sincere and honest thank you for, being with me from the very beginning of this volume. I started RWBY back in volume 1 towards the end, and I didn't really understand or know if I was going to have a good enough following to where I would enjoy doing my live reactions to doing my reviews for volume 2. But you guys have been very dedicated. You know who you guys are, the people who comment every week, the people, you guys leave your comments, you leave your likes, you subscribe, and you give me a lot of support on the series of my impressions and my opinions on the episodes. So I really just got to give you guys a sincere and honest thank you, because you've made this experience and you've made this this entire volume a lot more enjoyable than what it could have been for me to just, come on here, give my thoughts, and not really get any type of feedback. So I really do appreciate you guys for, taking the time to check me out, check out my video, check out my channel, and all that other stuff. But the episode itself, now, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love RWBY to death. It's one of the series that I'm really infatuated with. I collect the merch, I watch the anime, all that stuff. But this episode, to me, felt very underwhelming in the sense of danger that we got from last episode. The buildup and the buildup of the sense of danger of the creatures of Grimm and the White Fang's plans moving along according to their plans and all that stuff. And in this episode, it felt somewhat rushed in terms of the action of how the sense of danger was just getting whittled down, and it was just the creatures of Grimm that were essentially the threat. We didn't have any of the White Fang foot soldiers. We didn't have any Elysian paladins. Mercury, Emerald, and Cinder apparently were left out of the loop because Torchwood had to forward his plans a little bit early, so it was kind of a preemptive strike. So, I mean, it felt like there was very little effort when it came to dealing with the creatures of Grimm. Granted, you have Team RWBY, Team Coffee, and Team Juniper all up in there doing their thing, trying to take out all these Grimm as soon as possible. You had Uplek and Port as well. Galinda was in there. So to me, it just felt like it was a very rushed way to finish off the series, to where the sense of danger was pretty much whittled down to where I was just like, what the hell? Like, it's already done. And, I don't know. I just didn't really like the action, and the hype was there. But at the end of it, I was just like, wow, they took care of that a lot sooner than I thought. I thought at least the sense of danger was going to last into the next volume, or they were going to leave off at a really dramatic cliffhanger regarding, the city being destroyed and this, that, and the other, or a lot of civilians that were hurt. So in terms of the plot of the episode, the sense of danger is no longer is taken care of. The city is safe, but I just felt that it was a really rushed pace for something, especially how it was built up until now. But other than that, we got so much action, so much hype, cliffhangers up the wazoo. So first off, I want to talk about the hype, the fact that we got 2 new songs by Jeff and Casey Lee Williams. And I'm so hyped for this Volume 2 soundtrack, because I think in the entirety of Volume 2, we got about 6 new songs. We have Time to Say Goodbye, Die, Shine. There was one song that was showcased at the end of episode 3, I believe, after Penny revealed that she was a robot. And then we got 2 songs this episode during the action scenes and at the very end of the credits, which I really love the ominous type of theme that the song at the end of the credits was playing, to where I can't freaking wait for this Volume 2 soundtrack. I'm more hyped for the soundtrack than the Blu-ray, since I've already seen the episodes and all that stuff. But the hype and the action was there. You got Team RWBY going in, they did their thing. And then we got Team Juniper. We haven't really even seen them, put in any work since the series started, since the Volume 2 started, from the food fight at the beginning of the in episode 1. And we got to see Nora, Ren. Jean impressed me so much in how his swordplay and him just becoming a better warrior, a better huntsman from training with Pierre has paid off. He went up. It was kind of like a rematch, and it's, in a sense, it reminded me of Volume 1, of how in Volume 1 Pierre had to give Jean a little bit of help with dealing with that giant Ursa, where now he was able to completely eviscerate that Ursa all by himself. It fell right before his feet, and I was so proud of Jean. I was like, Jean, you're a boss. You're gonna be such a freaking awesome dude, especially when you find out and learn your semblance. So Team Juniper, went in as well, but Team Coffee, these guys have been teased since the trailer prior to the volume 2 starting, and we finally got to see them showcased to some degree when it comes to action. Yatsuhashi, giant sword wielding dude, kind of reminds me of like the Tetsaiga from Inuyasha, like the giant sword, and he just slammed it into the ground and created a giant crater in the earth and destroyed, defeated all of those Grimm. You got Fox, who's a combo master. He's got those gauntlets that remind me of Yang's, but obviously a little bit different. They have the blades on the ends, and he was just comboing up, and when he hit the Grimm, blew him up, and the shrapnel from the spikes on his back destroyed the other Grimm. So it was pretty cool use of the effects of that. Coco is rad. She is such a freaking badass. She just walks around, she gives him like a good game tap on his butt. He's like, "Oh, good job, good hustle." And then she's just talking down to all these Grimm like, "You destroyed my shop. Time for you to die." And the way that she just walks and presents herself, and she's just like a bat. She's like, "I don't give a damn. These guys are nothing." And she defeated the first one with just her bag alone. Didn't even try to transform it or anything. But then when she decides to go freaking all out, Gatling gun straight eviscerates, decimates, disintegrates all of these creatures of Grimm. Straight rip that Nevermore in half. Hype. And they teased Velvet because Velvet's had that box. We've known that she has like something that she assembles in her box, and they kind of teased her weapon a bit of like, "Oh, yeah, I know you guys want to see this a lot, but we're going to hold on to this until, further episodes where it's actually needed." But it did showcase a little bit of her combat, of her, being a good hand-to-hand combat when it comes to fighting the Grimm. But the action and the hype was definitely delivered in this volume of How to Wrap Up, showing off the awesome showcasings of Coffee, Juniper, Ruby, and all that stuff. And we got a little bit of Port and Oobleck as well in there. Moving on from the action, from the plot itself, it seems like Cinder's plans have been, there's been a damper on Cinder's plans for a bit, due to the preemptive strike of Roman having to forward his plans a little bit early, because I'm pretty sure they weren't expecting Team RWBY to pretty much show up at Mountain Glen when they did. So as of right now, I'm wondering what Cinder's plans are, because at this point, Roman's behind bars. The White Fang are all in disarray because some of them were killed during the the train collision. Some of them are probably alive and just like, screw this, I'm not doing it anymore. And it just leaves a lot to be desired of everything that's happened up until now. What was the whole point of her going to the CCT? Her being elusive and staying undercover. To where Roman's doing a lot of the work of collecting the dust, getting the White Fang tech. The Elysian Paladins and all that other stuff. And right now I'm just wondering, what's going to happen. And the first cliffhanger we get at the very end of the episode is Adam. Adam is going to be a crucial plot element as the series progresses, because not only for Blake in particular, because this volume, Blake went through a lot of development of trying to figure out and wanting to work around, oh, what am I going to do with the White Fang? I want to be able to deal with this. I want to be able to help people and all that stuff. But now to know that her mentor and her former friend is essentially going to be even behind another asset to an already current situation that they're trying to deal with. They don't know all of the answers, and now she's probably going to have to face him as in volume 3 or as the story progresses. It's going to be intense, and I feel like Blake's just going to have incredible development as we progress. We're probably going to get a lot more backstory on how her and Adam's relationship was and where it parted ways, to where when she has to actually face him, it's going to be very difficult for her. But her team's going to be there, her friends are going to be there, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what Adam has in store for us, what he has in store for the White Fang, for Cinder's plans and all that stuff. For there, the plot element of politics is also in effect, because Ozpin this episode was showcase of essentially leading up to being overthrown, and it kind of reminded me of a Harry Potter Hogwarts type of theme, how Dumbledore got overthrown by the Ministry of Magic during Voldemort's return. I kind of feel like that's the same vibe that I got from this episode of, okay, Ironwood's really paranoid of the whole situation to where he needs to get essentially get help of finding a way of dealing, with the situation. Ironwood isn't really, he's not patient in the sense. So instead of that, he just wants to decide, hey, let's deal with this as soon as possible. I want everything to be run smooth and well. So in that regard, we also got a showcase of the council, who were referenced during the Kingdom's World of Remnant segment. That the council is what governs the cities and the regions and all that stuff. So that's another great thing. Ironwood kind of gave me a little bit of mixed vibes this episode, also because of the fact that he was essentially negotiating with Roman in the cell of, you know, I'll give you one last chance, tell me who's behind it. And I don't know if he was going to give him a plea bargain or if he was going to pitch him a deal of, okay, if you tell me this, I'll let you go. If you tell me this, I'll reduce your sentence. So Ironwood is just very unreliable to me right now as to being a reliable source of safety if he's going to do whatever it takes to find out about Cinder or their plans or anything like that. And then from there, the very, oh my God, after the credits, man, Yang's twin? Yang's mother? Like, what? Literally spitting image of Yang. Same age, same hairstyle, black instead of blonde, which I'm assuming Tai Yang, her father, has black hair. Same image, like I said, same image, red eyes. It's ridiculous, and it kind of makes me wonder. It's like, okay, like, was that even real? Was that in her mind? Because like that, when did that setting take place? It was at night. You had like the kind of eerie type of mysterious sound, you know, the OST in the background, to where I kind of felt like it was like an otherworldly experience. Maybe she wanted that to be her mother, and you know, the image of that was of herself, because I don't know, she probably thinks she looks like her mother or something. But I feel like that is her mother. Her mother looks just like her, same age as well, which I'm also wondering if there's any type of grim activity or any type of dust influence that has her retain her image, because she looks literally the same age as Yang. She looks like a 17-year-old version of Yang. Well, Yang probably would look like her because that's her mother, essentially. But oh my gosh, like there's so much buildup, there's so much hype, because last episode everyone was just like, who is that? Who is that? Who's that? Is that RWBY? Is that RWBY in the future? Is that Summer Rose? Is that Yang's mother? And then we get it this like right after, like boom, next episode, and it just leaves us thinking until volume 3 or as the story progresses of who that is, why does she leave? And she was like, Yang, we have a lot to talk about. And I feel like it's going to be a very emotional talk because Yang's eyes got red as she revealed herself. Vital Festival is also something that we are to look forward to as the series progresses. So much greatness, so much awesomeness, hype, action, build-up, suspense, everything. Like, I fucking love RWBY to death, and I'm just gonna be so saddened that it's over, you know? We got so much development, the food fight, you know, Team RWBY as a team growing and, you know, getting better. We got an Arcos. You know, we had the Arcos moment. Ooplex development. It was just fantastic. It was phenomenal. But all good things must come to an end, and it is time to say goodbye to RWBY Volume 2 until next year. But for everybody who's watched this, everyone who's watched any of my reviews, I honestly, from the bottom of my heart, want to thank you guys. You guys have made this experience so much more awesome than it would have initially been if I was just watching RWBY by myself, or not bringing reviews or live reactions, giving me your take on an episode, your opinions, to where it changes my perception of, you know, an episode, of how I review or how I critique and this, that, and the other. But thank you guys very much. For any other RWBY content, I will also be doing an unboxing video, a special unboxing video in the next few weeks. I'm going to be buying some RWBY merch, so you guys can look forward to that. It's going to be two unboxings, actually. So that's going to be pretty cool for you guys in terms of getting a little bit more RWBY content. The Volume 2... I'm planning on doing a Volume 2 OST overview, soundtrack overview, of essentially, you know, listening to the music and bringing you guys my overview on what music pertains to, you know, is it a character theme, you know, and what it alludes to for the story, if there's anything in there, as well as the fourth World of Remnant segment that will be exclusive to the Blu-ray and DVD. I will be doing a review for that as well. So you guys will be getting a few more RWBY videos from me before it's all kaput until next year. But thank you guys so much for watching this. Thank you guys so much for giving me the support and checking out my videos. It really does mean a lot. But it sucks to say bye, you know, and it's not goodbye right now initially. But for the reviews for RWBY Volume 2, this is where I cut it off. This is where it ends until further notice. But I thank you guys very much from the bottom of my heart, and you guys have a great night. Take care.